In today's lesson, we are going to be looking at the quadratic formula and how to use it. Now, this topic usually appears on a calculator paper, but sometimes it may appear on a non-calculator paper where the numbers are easier or where you are expected to leave your answer in a surd form where you have the square roots. So this is the quadratic formula, and we can use it for many things. At higher GCSE maths and certainly at A-level, we use it to test whether or not a function has roots or not. Okay, so let's familiarize ourselves with the formula. We've got x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And it's really, really important that you remember that this is all over 2a. I have got real simple methods for you to use and apply at home so that you don't make any mistakes when you are dividing. I have a systematic way of working, which I will show you. So on to our first question. We want to solve x squared minus 3x minus 3 equals 0, giving our answer to two decimal places. So we know that we have to use our quadratic formula here as well because we have to leave our answer in decimal places. And for that, we will require a calculator. However, the quadratic formula can appear on a non-calculator paper because it can ask you to leave your answer in a particular form that involves square roots. Okay? Right, so the first thing we are going to do is identify our values of a, b, and c. So this is referring back to the quadratic formula equation. Okay, so we know that our a here is 1. Our b here is minus 3. Often students make a mistake and they just say that their b value is 3. You have to include the sign as well, so it's minus 3. And our c is also minus 3. Okay, next we are going to substitute those values into our quadratic formula, into minus b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now I am going to use two different colors here on the first question just to show you which signs are part of the formula and which signs are coming from, like the minus 3 here or the value of c here. Okay, so when I do this, I'm going to do x is equal to, and I'm going to use red to indicate which signs are part of the formula. Okay, so minus b, so b is minus 3, so minus 3. And then plus and minus is going to be in red because it's part of that. And it's going to be square root. So again, we have b squared minus 4ac. So b is minus 3, which is going to go into a bracket again. So minus 3 squared. And then minus 4 times 1, which is our value for a, and times by minus 3, which is our value for c. And that's going to be all over, I should really do that in red as well, all over 2 times a, which is 1. So that's our first step, which is to substitute our values for a, b, and c into the quadratic formula. The next step is to simply just tidy up, work things out individually. Okay, so let's do that. So x is equal to, so minus times and minus 3 is going to be a positive 3 when it comes out. Plus and minus is going to remain square root, so minus 3 squared. Students often make some mistake here, which is they just do 3 squared, which is 9, and they keep the minus there and giving them minus 9. There shouldn't really be a negative under that square root. So here minus 3 times minus 3, which is 9, positive. And then the minus times a minus here is going to give us a positive answer overall. So 4 times 1 times 3. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So that's going to give us 12. And it's going to be all over 2 times 1, which is just 2. Don't forget that this division of all over 2a is of the entire numerator, the number at the top. Students sometimes just divide this by 2. Next, we are going to add the 9 and the 12 together. So we get x is equal to 3 plus or minus. So 9 plus 12 is 21 all over 2. All that is required now is to put this value into our calculator. Now, quadratics give you two solutions. So the first solution is going to be, can you see here, 3 plus root 21 over 2. And the second solution is going to be 3 minus root 21 over 2. And it would help here if you wrote this separately. So 3 plus root 21 over 2 And the second one would be 3 minus root 21 over 2 there. Now, I've done the calculations already, so you can put this into your calculator, but a word of advice here is to be very, very careful when you do this calculation. When you do your calculation, do it the following way. 3 plus root 21, then press equal at that point, and then divide by 2. So when you do this one, you do 3 minus root 21, press equals, and then divide by 2. Okay? Now the answers that I got for both of them, for the first one I got 3.7912, and some other numbers here. And then the second one I got minus 0.7912. Now both of them we have to round to 2 decimal places. So we want only up to here and up to here. And because this number is less than 5, we can leave the 9 as it is, and also the same for this one, we can leave that answer as it is. So our 2 answers will be 3.79 and minus 0.79. So they are our solutions to the quadratic. Right, so moving on to our next question. Once again, x squared plus 5x minus 4. We'll write down our values of a, b, and c here. And our value of a is 1, our value of b is positive 5, and our value of c is minus 4. So we'll substitute it into our quadratic formula. So what do we have? We have minus, and then we have b. So b will go inside here, so I'll just put that into a bracket. I didn't need to because it's not negative this time. Okay, so plus and minus square root. Again, we've got b squared, so 5 squared, and then minus 4 times by a, which is 1, times by c, which is minus 4. And I'll just extend this out a little bit. And that's going to be all over 2 times a, and a is 1, and that's equal to x. So step number 1 done, where we've substituted the values into the formula. Step number 2 is simply to calculate those individually. So minus 5 plus and minus square root. So 5 squared gives us 25. Minus and a minus here, when they multiply, it gives us a plus overall. And then 4 times 1 times 4 is 16. And that's all over 2 times 1, which is 2. We need to add the 25 and 16, so it gives us minus 5 plus or minus, that's 41 all over 2. As before, we're going to have 2 variations. So we're going to have minus 5 plus root 41 over 2, and we are going to have minus 5 minus root 41 over 2. So the 2 versions are minus 5 plus root 41 all over 2, and x is equal to minus 5 minus root 41 over 2. Hope you can see that down there. Now, once again, I've calculated the solutions already, and I've rounded it to 2 decimal places, and you should do the same first. Just to remind you, you should do minus 5 plus root 41, press equal on your calculator, and then divide by 2, and same for the other one. And the 2 solutions that you should get are 0.70 to 2 decimal places and minus 5.70 to 2 decimal places. Hope you can see that there.